Welcome to We Love Dubai, your home for royal tales, timeless romance, and the stories that live beyond the palace gates. In our last episode, the Crown Prince of Dubai gifted a private island to Sheikh Aisha for their honeymoon, a gift born from love, memory, and the desire to give her the world. But what if we told you that the most unforgettable part of their journey was yet to come? Tonight, join us as we take you deeper into a love story where paradise wasn't just a place, it was a promise. This is part 2 of a royal romance that will touch your soul. The island was quiet. The kind of quiet that feels sacred, where even the waves seem to move with reverence. It was the 3rd day of their honeymoon, and the sun was just beginning to stretch its golden fingers across the sky. Inside the glass villa, soft white curtains fluttered in the sea breeze. Sheikh Aisha lay still, her head resting on the prince's chest, his heartbeat syncing with hers. But she was awake and smiling. Because today, she had a secret. While the world was in awe of the prince's grand gesture, a private island gifted to her, tailored with poetry and luxury, Aisha had been quietly preparing something of her own. Not with diamonds or silk, but with love stitched in silence. She wanted to give something back. Something only she could give. Quietly, she slipped from bed, wrapped herself in a flowing silk robe, and stepped onto the soft sand outside their villa. The morning air was cool and full of promise. Her team, flown in days earlier without the prince's knowledge, was waiting just beyond the palms. They had been working with her in secret: musicians, florists, chefs, and a few artists, all handpicked to help create a gift she knew he would never expect. A gift that didn't come with a price tag, but with a heart. All day, preparations took place in the far corner of the island. Rose petals collected from Damascus had arrived. Lanterns were being lit one by one. A small bonfire circle was being built with driftwood and carved stones. The ocean wind carried the soft music of an oud being tuned. The setting was like something out of a dream, but tonight, it would be real. As the sun began to set, casting orange and violet over the water, the prince stepped outside looking for Aisha. She wasn't in her usual place near the hammock. Not by the garden. He looked out toward the water, and paused. There, in the distance, stood a narrow path made of lanterns, guiding him toward the edge of the island. He followed it. The sound of the waves grew louder, but mixed with something else: music. Soft, haunting, familiar. It was the lullaby his mother used to sing when he was a child. No one knew that, except Aisha. And then he saw her. She stood barefoot in the sand, wearing a deep green dress that shimmered like the sea itself. Around her, the beach had been transformed into a celebration of their love. Candles floated on the water, their flames trembling in the wind. A small stage had been set, where a violinist began playing his favorite classical tune. On a wooden table nearby were handwritten scrolls tied with gold ribbon, letters Aisha had written for him since the day they got engaged. He walked slowly toward her, stunned. Her eyes sparkled, full of mischief and tenderness. "I wanted you to feel what I felt," she said, placing her hand on his chest. "The way you made me feel when you gave me this island. I wanted you to have a night you would never forget." The prince said nothing at first. His throat tightened with emotion. He touched her cheek gently, leaned in, and whispered, "You always give me more than I could ever give you." Then, together, they sat beneath a wooden arch covered in jasmine and silk. They ate a dinner she had planned with his favorite childhood dishes, dishes only his grandmother used to cook. Every bite took him back in time. Every detail was a window into his heart. She had studied him, loved him, understood him, deeper than anyone ever had. Later, they moved to the fire circle. Around them, musicians played soft desert melodies. Above them, the stars had arrived, brighter, closer somehow. Aisha leaned into him, wrapping herself in his shawl. "You never told me," she asked softly, "what you prayed for before we met." The prince looked into the fire, then into her eyes. "I prayed for a woman who didn't care about the crown, only the man behind it. Someone who would dance with me in the rain, and not care if the world was watching. I prayed for peace, and for laughter that didn't feel forced. I prayed for you. Though I didn't know your name yet." She kissed his knuckles, slowly, one by one. And as if the heavens were listening, soft rain began to fall. But they didn't run. They stood up, barefoot in the wet sand, and began to dance. Slowly, freely, childlike. The music didn't stop. The fire kept burning. Their clothes were soaked, their hair dripping, but their smiles, they were infinite. They laughed. They kissed. They cried. They forgot. Later that night, wrapped in blankets beside the fire, she handed him a gift wrapped in old parchment. It wasn't gold, nor a rare jewel. It was a leather-bound book, hand-stitched with care. Inside were dozens of pages. Letters to my future husband, written by Aisha over the years, even before she knew who he would be. There were prayers, hopes, questions, poems, some pages tear-stained. Others covered in small flower petals pressed between paper. The prince turned the pages slowly, carefully. One letter read, "Wherever you are in this world, I hope you're kind. I hope you love sunsets like I do. And I hope one day, we sit side by side, our hands silent but full of everything words can't say." He closed the book, held it to his chest, and turned to her. "You loved me, even before I existed." She nodded, tears in her eyes. "I didn't wait for you," she said. "I wrote for you, because love isn't about timing. It's about faith." That night, they didn't sleep in a villa or under silk canopies. They slept by the fire, under the stars, wrapped in each other's arms, their hearts full, their souls quiet. And for the first time in years, the prince didn't feel like a ruler, or a symbol, or a son of legacy. He just felt like a man deeply, fully, completely in love. And beneath the stars, wrapped in nothing but firelight and each other's warmth, two hearts beat not as prince and princess, but simply as soulmates. In a world full of power, titles, and expectation, they found what truly mattered: love, honesty, and the quiet promise of forever. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable journey. This is We Love Dubai, where royal dreams come to life, and every heartbeat echoes through the city of gold. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more royal love stories, only on We Love Dubai. Until next time, stay enchanted.